guns for Modern Warfare 2019 that I want to see make a return to Modern Warfare 2. Now, I do have some mentions from the original Modern Warfare 2 that I want to see return as well. So we got a twofer in today's video. So the first gun is the M13. Now the M13, the real life counterpart, is the SIG MCX, which for some reason became my favorite AR platform that I want to own, airsoft and real steel. I just think it looks like a sick gun, and I want to see the M13 return to Modern Warfare 2. Along with that, the FN Scar 17 and the FN Scar 16, which is the Scar H and the Scar Light. The H standing for heavy and the L standing for light. Now, I do remember tweeting one of the developers for Modern Warfare 2 during its content cycle asking if we could get a 5.56 conversion for the Scar H in-game, turning it into the Scar L. Now, I can't remember which, I think it was Taylor Kurosaki that I tagged. I can't remember, but I remember tagging a certain dev for Modern Warfare 2019, and they actually liked my tweet. So I thought him liking the tweet meant that they're going to add that conversion. Unfortunately, they never added the conversion. So what I would like to see from Modern Warfare 2019 would be the Scar 17 returning, along with the 5.56 conversion, turning it into the Scar 16 or the Scar L. Next up, we have the Kilo 141. Now, the Kilo slowly became another one of my favorite AR platform style 5.56 assault rifles that look cool and that I would like to see return. The real life counterpart is the H&K 433. I never knew this gun existed up until the release of Modern Warfare 2019. Next up, we have the obvious Vector. Now, the Vector is chambered in 45 ACP. I keep wanting to say APC for some reason. 45 ACP. Along with that, it can be chambered in 9mm. I don't know any other known caliber that the Vector can be chambered in. If you want to be make-believe and be like Rainbow Six Siege, you can chamber it in 308, which I don't know if that's real or not. Someone will have to tell me down in the comments, or I could just Google it and put an image on screen here. Next up, we have the obvious ones. We have the MP5. I don't know which variant of the MP5 they're going to add, which is the MP5 SD, the A3, the A4, the A5. They could just add the MP5 and then allow us to turn it into said different variants. You can also chamber it in 10mm. Don't know if you can chamber it in 45 ACP. Said it right this time. Pretty sure you can. And then next up, we have the MP7. Now, in Modern Warfare 2019, I believe the version of the MP7 is the newest and most modernized version. Honestly, I would kind of like to see the first iteration of the MP7 with that integrated telescopic stock, Jesus Christ. Next up, we have a shotgun. Now, the Model 680 in Modern Warfare, I think is modeled after the 870 MCS. I would love to see the 680 return, especially in, one, its real-life name, and two, the MCS version. And then next up, we have the Holger 26, which is the LMG. I think it was Season 1's LMG, if I'm not mistaken. Which the real-life name is the MG36, which is the LMG version of the G36C, which you can also turn it into the G36C in Modern Warfare. I think it's actually the G36K you can turn it into. Next up, we have the S887, I believe it's called in, or is it the SA87, I think is what it's called in Modern Warfare 2019. I'd like to see it return, and its real-life counterpart is the L86A2 or the L85A1 or something like that. They have it's the British's equivalent to the United States' M4. It's their service rifle. The L85A2 and the L86A2. The A6A2, the 86A2 is the LMG version of the A5A2. I think it's A5A1 or something. I'll put it on screen here. But I would like to see it return. I would like to see both versions return, not just being able to turn the LMG version into the assault rifle version. I hope they kind of stray away from the ability to, let's say with the AK, you could turn the AK-47 in Modern Warfare 2019, you could turn it into the AKS-74U. I hope they stay away from that and just make it its own gun, because that's what it is in real life. It's its own gun. But essentially, yes, you are cutting down the barrel, rechambering it to 5.45, and then, you know, putting on a different stock. That's essentially what it's doing, but they are their own gun. Next up, we have, in sniper rifles, we have the HDR. Now, I don't know the real-life counterpart of this gun, but again, I'll have it on screen. But the HDR is such a satisfying sniper rifle in Modern Warfare 2019, especially in Warzone. It's such a satisfying gun, and I'm pretty sure it's either 50 BMG or it's 338. I don't know. I think it's 50 BMG. It's an anti-material rifle, but it's such a satisfying gun, and I hope it returns, or something like it returns. And then next up, we have our 1911. Would love to. I don't know if I would like to see the Marines version of the 1911, which is the M45A1, which I want so bad, but they're so expensive. Or they could just put in the World War II M1911A1. Then next up, we have the AK-47. Now, the AK-47 in Modern Warfare 2019, I just mentioned it, is you can turn it into multiple different variants. You can keep the AK-47, or you can turn it into the AKS-74U, or you can roughly turn it into an AK-74. But what I hope they do with the AK platform in Modern Warfare 2 is they give us an AK-47, then maybe they give us an AKM, because they are different, and then they'll give us the AKS-74U, then they'll give us the AK-74 platform, or they could give us the AK-100 series platforms. I think they need to do that just to add more variety. So basically, an example here is you would unlock the AK-47, and then once you get the AK-47 to max rank, it would unlock the AKM. And then once you use the AKM and get it to like level 15 or something, you would unlock the AKS-74U. And then once you get the point. And then you would unlock the 74 and then the AK. You guys get the point. I know that's a lot of work for the devs to do, but I kind of would like to see it, especially since we're getting 2 years of support for this game. So they could do it. Next up for Modern Warfare 2019, we have the AN-94. Now the AN-94, the only other Call of Duty it has been in was Black Ops 2. It could have been in I think it was it in Ghosts? I don't know. I know for sure it was in Black Ops 2, and then it came back in Modern Warfare 2019, and I want it to come back for Modern Warfare 2. Along with that, they could add the AEK 971. Now, the AEK was only in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. I would like to see it added alongside the AN-94. I know the AEK should have been in the guns I want to see added, but I decided to put it here. Another gun in the SMG category I want to see return from Modern Warfare 2019 is the Striker 45, or it's also known as the UMP 45 or the PBS 45 or something, which is in 2042. I just want to see it return because everyone loves the UMP. Next up in the shotguns, we have the JAK-12, also known as the AA-12. I know I saw a tweet a couple weeks ago from T. Martin. He was asking if it could return to Modern Warfare 2, the AA-12, and I told him it's already in Modern Warfare 2019 as the JAK-12. Next up in the LMG category, we have the RAL LMG, which I don't know the real-life counterpart, but the RAL LMG is going to be replacing the M240 Bravo. This LMG is chambered in 308. I'm pretty sure they can also chamber in different other calibers. But yeah, I would like to see the RAL LMG return, mainly because it's going to be over the next couple of years is going to be replacing the United States Army's current heavy LMG. And then next up in the pistol categories, the last guns for the Modern Warfare 2019 category is the Desert Eagle. We always need a hand cannon in FPS shooters, so the Desert Eagle, it's got to return. Now, I would like for them to give us the ability to chamber either in 44 Magnum or 50 AE. I think that'd be pretty dope. And then the last category here, wrapping up the video, is MW2 guns. Now, I only have 3 listed because I already previously mentioned them in the guns I want to see added, but I'll reiterate those if those haven't seen those videos yet. So first of all, we have everyone's loved assault rifle, the ACR. Now the ACR, pretty sure it's made by Remington. I think is like the most modernized version, and I think it's the ACWR or something. I know that's the Battlefield 4's version of it. But the ACR, they could do different variants. You could also call it the Masada, but the ACR, just in general, I want to see it return, especially if Ghost is going to be more prominent. Especially in the campaign, he has to be holding an ACR. You just can't make Ghost very prominent in this game if leaks are true. You can't just make Ghost very prominent, especially in the campaign in the game, and not have him holding an ACR. That's illegal, okay? Next up, we have probably my only favorite Soviet era LMG, which is the RPD. Now, the RPD did make a return in Black Ops Cold War, but you guys know my opinion on Black Ops Cold War. I'm not going to get into that. But I want to see the RPD return, not only from MW2, but for my sake, because I love the RPD. I want one in real life. I don't think I'll ever get one in real life because, one, I don't have the specific requirements to own one. I mean, I can own a semi-automatic version of it, but who wants to own a semi-automatic LMG? Like, the fuck? But yeah, the RPD, I really wanted to make a return. And then last on the list that I have, again, I'll reiterate the ones I have in the previous 2 videos, is the Model 1887s. Everyone knows, everyone loves the Model 1887s, and back in the day, they were busted as fuck. You could snipe cross-map with these fuckers, especially with Akimbo. I really wanted to make a return. And just in general, I would really like to see older firearms in this game as well, like World War II firearms, Western firearms. If they could add a Henry rifle to Modern Warfare 2022, that's what I'm going to start calling it. Modern Warfare 2 2022. That's a lot of 2s. If they could add older firearms to the game, that'd be dope. Not like Civil War firearms, because that would be... It takes like a minute to reload those things, and you just couldn't. But yeah. To reiterate the previous ones, I did mention there's always going to be a Barrett 50 cal. It's Barrett, not Barrett. I mentioned this in the previous videos, but one of my friends pronounced it Barrett, and it pisses me off. It's Barrett. They could either add the Barrett M107 or the Barrett M82. And then we have the beloved Shy-Tech Intervention, which is just called the Intervention. One thing quickly before we wrap the video up is I want to mention that I hope this Call of Duty uses the real names for firearms. It's Activision. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They have the money, they have the resources, they have the assets to put the real-life gun names and manufacturers in the guns. Now, one thing with the Modern Warfare series, especially with Modern Warfare 2019, is I was kind of a little bit less harpy on them not putting the real names in the games, because they went ahead and put a backstory in the game. They went ahead and put a gun manufacturer in the backstory, so it made sense that they weren't named the real life counterparts. They had FFS Tactical. They had a couple other make-believe gun manufacturers in the Modern Warfare universe that came with Modern Warfare 2019. That it kind of made sense that they weren't named their real-life counterparts. Gave us the backstory, and they gave us the reason why they're not... I mean, it's a dumb reason, but they gave us a reason why they're not named the names we're used to, their real-life counterparts. So, that's one thing I was a little bit lenient on Modern Warfare 2019. It was like, I'm kind of okay with this, because they have a backstory that there's different gun manufacturers, like FFS Tactical, which... for all I know, could be a real gun manufacturer or a real attachment manufacturer. I don't know. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what guns you want to see from Modern Warfare 2, the original, added to Modern Warfare 2, the newer version. And what guns you want to see returned from Modern Warfare 2019 into this year's Call of Duty. I think that's all I got to say. I do apologize for this one being long as well, but without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, ding dong, the notification bell so you know when I upload next. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Obsessed with Modern Warfare.